Welcome to WrestleReacts. We react, you enjoy. Today we got StonePayneProductions and WellsMania. Oh, I like the little one
How's it
you
going,
got up
guys?
there. Welcome, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Hell yeah, you guys are amazing. I love your guys' content. I watch you guys' live streams probably every single time you're live. I try to be there as much as I can.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm gonna just throw the hardball out there. What is your guys' Mount Rushmores?
Dang, right off the bat.
Right off the bat, I'm gonna just throw it right out there.
Can I be honest? I hate answering this question.
Yeah, 100%. I do too. I don't blame you.
All right, it's fine.
So, are you asking for my personal favorites,
Yes.
or do you want my actual opinion of who I think the Mount Rushmore is?
Your personal opinion.
Okay, so my personal favorites, it's got to be Austin, Rock, Taker, and probably Kane. I'm a big Brother of Destruction fan.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Wells.
Well, I would go with Ruthless Aggression John Cena, Basic
Hell yeah.
Economics John
Hell yeah.
Cena,
like that
Super
answer.
Cena, and Heel Cena.
Oh my
Those are
god.
my,
Oh my god. Okay.
That's my Mount Rushmore right there for you, right off the top of my Hoosier Dome.
All right, and this is over. No.
Any question that you ask me, I will find a reason to give you a John Cena answer.
Oh god.
All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and ask. So who's your favorite wrestler?
John Cena.
Yep. Okay, and then Stone. What about you? Who's your favorite?
Oh, all time, Stone
All
Cold
time.
Steve Austin.
What?
Hell yeah, Stone Cold.
That's a
What?
good one. That's a good one.
Perfect. I got another, and then here's another question. What was the thing that brought you and guys into wrestling? Like, what was the match, or not really the match, but what brought you into wrestling? What's your first memory on that got you in here?
Kyle, I'll let you go first.
Oh man. Well, I'm a little bit older than Peyton, and my first memory was probably WrestleMania 6, Ultimate Warrior
Okay.
versus Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Challenge, because my dad and my grandma got me into professional wrestling at a very, very early age because my grandma watched pro wrestling, and then she got my dad into it, and then my dad got me into it. So it's kind of like whenever I have kids, I'm going to get them into it just to keep it going in the family. But yeah, my earliest memory is the Ultimate Challenge. And you want to talk about being torn between who to root for? As a little Wells maniac, I didn't know if I wanted to root for Hulk Hogan to win or the Ultimate Warrior to win because those were both of my favorite wrestlers at that time. So yeah, that was probably the first time in my life that I was divided between two wrestlers. Because when did we ever get two faces going up in the main event at WrestleMania? I think that was the first time that had ever happened.
Could have been the second time if freaking John Cena didn't turn heel, but it's whatever. What about you, Stone?
So, I don't really have like an initial memory. You know, a lot of people are always like, "Oh, I remember flipping through the TV and seeing this match." And
Yeah. Right.
I don't have that because my older brother was into wrestling. So from the time I was born, it was just always there. I will say, I think the earliest memory that I can picture, at least from like a live event standpoint, is I remember being at the Go Home SmackDown to No Way Out 2003, which was here in
Okay.
Indianapolis. And that was, if you remember, No Way Out 2003 was Rock Hogan 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember vividly being in the crowd watching Hollywood Rock spit water in Hulk Hogan's face.
Okay.
So that's probably the earliest vivid memory I have.
I like it.
I like it too. Those are really good answers.
So what do you guys watch? Anything other than WWE?
Is this a bait question to one of the
No.
Easy,
Okay.
Cena. That's
All
a
right,
clickbait question.
Listen, all no disrespect at all.
There.
I like how Tony Khan does his job, but I am not an AEW fan whatsoever. I know it looks like it, but I'm not.
I mean, if you want me to go hating on AEW, I'll do it for you.
Go for it right now. Let's go. We'll make it for an hour.
Well, WWE's the backbone, I think, of what both me and Kyle watch. I mean, I keep up to date with everything else because I feel like being a content creator, you have to now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and of course, if there's matches that people are like, hey, you got to watch this match, you know, I'm going to go check it out. But as far as like AEW goes, just to be blunt, I think the product sucks right now. I don't think it's good.
Yeah.
I think that the stories are not there. There is no stories. You know, the inmates run the asylum at that company, and Tony Khan needs to hand over the reins to someone who actually knows how to
Yeah.
run a legitimate pro wrestling company.
Right.
get that.
For me, what got me to stop watching, because I used to be really big into it, like back whenever it first started. Zach and I both actually. But for me, it like whenever you that you have the Young Bucks as EVPs, executive vice presidents for the company, and then they're booking themselves to win every championship and not putting over younger talent as they should be. That's where I'm like, okay, I don't think this is a legitimate company anymore. I think this is just trying to show off the Young Bucks. But that,
It's a $1 million indie show.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure, for
pretty much.
sure. So yeah, I couldn't watch it anymore after that, and I stopped watching. And around that time is whenever Triple H was actually taking over, so I was like, I'll get back into WWE. I started watching, and he's got me hooked because I love his storylines. I love the way he books, and that's what's really got me. And then all of a sudden, the Vince McMahon scandal started coming in, and he started he's already got that, like, his foot in the door basically for Triple H, and that's when TKO took over, and he became full head of creative. I'm like, all right, this is gonna we're future's looking bright for WWE. This is good. So for me, that's when I stopped watching, and I still keep up with it 100%. But like, I don't understand what they're doing with the Hurt Syndicate, and that's another thing why I'm like, okay, I'm not watching. Like, I'm glad I'm not watching, because I'm keeping up with what they're doing. But like, man, there's so many different ways that you can go with this, and you're not doing it, and that's why you're not getting views.
I don't think they know what they're doing
Yeah.
They don't.
with the syndicate and anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the downfall of that company was when they pushed Cody Rhodes out the door, and then they decided to push CM Punk out the door for internal jealousy reasons.
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
nail in the coffin for that company.
Yeah.
So, Wells,
I
what's
mean,
your
he was
thoughts on
trying to
AEW?
protect AEW, so yeah.
I'm just I'm being good over here.
No,
Oh,
no,
you're
I'm
being the
not
good one.
you can
I'm
share
not
your
saying
opinion. You can share your
I'm not
opinion
saying too
100%.
much about AEW. If that's your thing, you know what? Good for
Yeah,
you.
for
That's
sure.
your thing. I'm never going to bash somebody for what they prefer to
No, for
watch.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
AEW just has never done anything for me personally. Like, early on, I tried watching it, but I just couldn't get into it. I mean, then again, I've watched WWE and WCW my whole entire life until WCW went under. So when people started trying to compare AEW to WCW, I was just like, y'all are idiots. They're nowhere near each other.
No,
Yeah,
Not at
no.
they
all.
they might be on the same network, TNT and TBS,
Yeah, yeah,
but but no, AEW is not WCW. It's
yeah.
nowhere near
I
WCW, and it never will be WCW. And
I
that
I
was why I
personally
couldn't get into it.
I personally think it's worse, and this is just my opinion, but I think it's worse than WCW, because at least when WCW was failing, they still had asses in seats, and their ticket sales were still doing good.
Yeah.
Where for or for AEW right now, like, their ticket sales are horrible, and no, you have like probably a max of 200 people in that front row right there, and I'm like, oh man, that's where I think, in my opinion, just for seeing that, I think it's like I call that worse than WCW. Um, but no, for sure, I 100% agree.
It just feels like
And I'm
they're
gonna
going
say
back
this,
into like
So you guys have seen the movie The Sandlot, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Do you guys remember when that baseball team came in and challenged the
Yeah.
boys from The Sandlot to a baseball
Yeah.
game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Will
Yeah.
Ospreay,
Yeah.
he's out here thinking that he's the best wrestler in the world, but he's wrestling in the worst company in the world.
Yeah.
So if you're truly the best wrestler in the world, then how about you come to WWE and prove that you're the
Yeah.
best wrestler in the
Yeah.
world? Because anybody can be the best when they're playing with a bunch of fat kids and rejects, Rodriguez. I mean, come on now. It's not a, like, I don't want to
Our
go too far into bashing Will Ospreay because I do
No,
think he's
you're
an incredible
good. But
talent, but
yeah, yeah,
he's just
100%.
he's running his mouth for no reason.
Well, both speaking on that for both Zach and I, like I'm a Will Ospreay fan, but Zach is an even bigger one because that's his all-time favorite wrestler.
I've been watching him
And
since
and
WCPW days.
whenever we saw
wow.
him sign from to AEW, we both were like, you just made the biggest decision of your, like, the biggest mistake of your life right there. With all due respect, you should have took the chance to go to WWE.
Well, now
You
hear
had the
me
chance
out.
to go.
I don't mean to cut you off, but this was still in the era where AEW was slightly good because they had good rivalries with like MJF. They were building their women's division. Their tag division was amazing. I was like, you know what? Now that Will Ospreay's here, 10 times better, right? That's where the company started going lower, and then Will Ospreay is
Yeah.
just saying all this stuff about Triple H making himself look bad, and I'm just like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
If maybe one
Yeah.
day AEW is gonna go out the door, you're not gonna have WWE to go to.
No, no. And then now he's making it worse for him by talking all this crap on Triple H. And I'm like, oh man.
And it's
Now that's
it's
not always a bad
embarrassing.
thing. That's not always a
Yeah.
bad thing because look at Cody.
Yeah,
Yes.
Cody did the same thing. I mean,
Cody
to
did
be
the same
fair,
thing, and he's doing fine now in
to be
WWE.
fair, I think with Cody, I think it was just the main heat was Vince. Like that was
Yeah.
his I mean, of
Oh.
course, smashing the throne, I understand, but like other than that, I don't think he did anything to piss Triple H off and
be
and over there.
To add to that, though, when Cody did that with the throne, that
Mhm.
was when AEW was at its height.
Yeah, yeah.
And-
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yes.
And WWE was at a time period where I think universally everybody can pretty much say like the product was garbage there
Yeah.
for a couple of years.
Because Vince was running it. Yeah.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
latter years of Vince's run, I mean, it was almost unbearable to sit through Raw every week.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but now, you watch AEW and the ratings have tanked. They can barely sell 1,200 seats in a 5,000 seat
Right.
arena. I mean, that's
Right.
a bad night. So when you're out here running your mouth about how you're the best company, it's like, well, the statistics say otherwise. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
why are you
Yeah.
embarrassing yourself like this?
Yeah. Yeah.
The amount
Yeah,
of
I
hate that I got
100%
on
agree.
a Tony Khan video just for posting. It was a weird CapCut thing, and it was a video, and they had a little green screen. I put Tony Khan's picture, and they was like, that right there, that is scum. And the amount of people that hated me because of
Oh,
that
man.
was crazy.
Yeah, it was just a small wrestling joke, and all the AEW writers were just on right up on his ass for that. I was like, oh boy,
Like I
here we
said,
go.
1,200 of them.
I mean, I don't doubt that Tony Khan's not like one of the nicest people on the planet. I'm not gonna judge Tony Khan, but
No,
it's in the essence of where he's also, correct me if I'm wrong because it's been a minute. He's the son of somebody who runs the Jaguars, or he does run the Jaguars.
correct. No, he's the son.
His old man is the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, which I
Yeah.
have a funny story about that.
Go for it.
I went to WrestleMania 41 out in Las Vegas,
Whoop, whoop.
and as I was walking around WWE World, I'm sure you guys saw the videos of that long glass case of the WWE Legacy titles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a Tennessee Titans fan.
Yeah.
I know I'm living in Indiana, but I'm a diehard Tennessee Titans fan. I have been for a very long time. And I just thought it was very comical that when you got to the AFC, you had the Texans, Titans, and Colts. The only title that was missing was the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I was like, this is
funny.
great shade.
Oh my
great shade
gosh.
towards the Khan family
That's
right
Just
here.
That's so
throwing
funny.
it right at them like a
That's
speedball.
so funny. I love
Oh
that.
god. I want to try to. I'm gonna throw away from AEW. I'm gonna go to another company though. What is your guys' thoughts if you do watch this on TNA?
So I don't get to watch TNA weekly because I don't have the channel
Yeah.
that it's
That's
on.
fair.
But I think that what they're doing right now is great. I do keep
I do
up with
too.
it as much as
I
I
do too.
can. Um, I made a controversial statement in one of my videos a few weeks ago, and I got ripped for it because AEW fans absolutely hate when you
Shocker.
make any comment. I said that in my opinion, I think TNA is the second biggest wrestling company in the world again.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yes.
110%.
Agreed. 100% agreed.
And it may not be like on the mass scale of, they're not selling out arenas or whatever, but they are connected to the biggest wrestling company in the
Yes.
world.
Yes. Yeah.
And that spotlight is now shining on them. And TNA is almost another breeding ground for talent to come to the WWE,
Yeah.
or talent that is not being used in the WWE,
Yeah.
like
Yep.
people that may get released can go and work at
Yep.
TNA.
Yeah.
So I think TNA right
Dolph,
now,
like Dolph Ziggler, that's exactly what he did. Is he got released from WWE? He went straight to TNA. Best decision he did.
Yes.
I would say TNA right now is in a better position than that company has ever been in.
Yeah. Yeah, I 100% agree. It's kind of sucks because whenever Zach and I were watching it, like we watched it whenever they were rebuilding TNA. So it does kind of suck that like they fired Scott Demore. I think that was a little unfair, because we loved what he was doing. He was a big part of TNA,
Yes.
and he was the reason why they got the TNA name back.
Yes.
And that was like, and like everybody loved him, and he was such a great guy behind behind backstage, and all the wrestlers really got along with him. And he was doing something magical and great for pro wrestling fans, and that's like, you have to respect him.
Yeah.
And for them to just fire him like that, it's just like, man, that sucks. Like, I'm glad he's in MLW doing his thing.
MLP.
MLP, sorry, MLP doing his thing. But yeah, it's just, I really wish he can get back Scott Demore. That would be
If y'all have never watched
something.
MLP, total side note. If y'all never watched it, Scott Demore runs the thing, and Mark Ronaldo, the
Yeah.
best ring announcer, or not ring
Yes.
announcer, but best commentator, sorry,
Commentator.
is
One of the best.
he's one of the
One of the
commentators
best.
there, and he does a lot of good for the Canadians there, and also new talent that just pop out of nowhere.
I will
But
have to
yeah,
check that out.
yeah,
Really
they
good.
do some good wrestling over there.
They do have
And they
some
pull
full
on.
shows on YouTube, but mainly their
Yeah.
pay-per-views and stuff are on Thriller, so I would definitely recommend it.
But yeah, I love TNA. I think it's a great product, and I've been saying that for years, and I've been saying it for all the people that get released. Is like, whenever they get released, they can easily go to TNA and then actually make a bigger name for yourself. Like, if you're not getting over in WWE, go to TNA, and that would help you out your character.
I mean, the TNA World Champion was just on WrestleMania, so it's like,
Yes.
Exactly.
Joe
you know,
Hendry.
Exactly.
that's all the spotlight you need
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
100%.
that's the first time I believe that the TNA title was on a WrestleMania card,
Yes.
It was. It
Yes.
was. Yeah.
which that's a big deal. I mean, I never watched TNA back when TNA was booming
Hmm.
because, like I said, my loyalty has always lied
Yeah,
with
on WWE.
WWE.
Yeah.
But I do love that TNA and WWE have this partnership because, kind of like what all you guys are saying, is this is a big opportunity
Yeah.
for both, not just the
Yeah.
TNA superstars, but also the WWE
Yeah.
superstars that might not be getting what they're wanting right now.
Yeah.
And then if they talk to Triple H and they're like, hey, well, why don't you send me to TNA so I can go, work programs in there? And
Yep.
that could revitalize their career. And
You
I
could.
was hoping, you brought up Dolph Ziggler. I was
Mm-hmm.
hoping that Dolph would have been in the Royal Rumble
Yeah.
here in Indianapolis. He
Yeah.
was not, unfortunately, but I'm gonna say that somewhere down the road there will be a Dolph Ziggler. Nick Nemeth is his name now.
Right.
He'll be coming back to WWE in some sort of capacity. It's only a matter of time. The dude is way too damn good. I've always have been a fan of Dolph. I think he's one of the best sellers
Yeah,
in pro
100%.
wrestling history.
Yes.
That dude he's so damn good, and I'm glad he's getting the opportunity to shine in TNA.
Yeah, for real.
Absolutely.
Going
Go ahead.
on to that, um, this kind of brings me to my next questions. Speaking of very underrated people, who do you guys think is the most underrated right now in the main roster?
Karrion Cross.
I say I know Peyton's answer.
I agree on that. I said
That was
that's my answer
100%.
too.
That was Sports Breed's
Yep.
answer too.
Yes, yeah, I think everyone agrees on that one. Karrion Cross. WellsMania. What about you? Is it John Cena?
No, surprisingly, John Cena is not overrated or underrated. He is perfectly rated as the GOAT.
Okay.
But being the most underrated wrestling podcast in the
Yeah.
world, WellsMania podcast, I know a thing
Oh
or
yeah.
two about
Okay.
being
Okay. Yeah.
underrated.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys on Karrion Cross, but I'm also
Yeah.
going to throw out my twin, Austin Theory. He's
Oh my
very,
God.
No, what?
very
That's
underrated.
valid.
I see it now. Oh my God, I see it.
Dude, every time I do a TikTok live, everybody's like, "Oh man, I didn't know Austin Theory was in
Oh
here."
my God.
And
Wow.
I'm like, I'm not Austin Theory. I'm not him. He is not me.
I used
But
to
that's my choice.
I used to cut my hair and the way that that Gunther has, and I get compared to Walter so much. I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, I 100% see like what you see too. Like I get the same thing.
And especially now, I mean, Austin Theory is starting to get the love from the crowd. I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
Yes.
you heard
that
that
face on
crowd
is
chanting
showing.
his name the other night.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only a matter of time before he gets the push that he deserves. And same with Karrion Cross. I
Yeah,
feel like both of those guys are beyond talented,
Yes.
and they've got the look, they've got the personality, they've got the charisma, they've got the character. All they need is an opportunity
yeah.
Mhm.
to
Yep.
really showcase what they can
Oh,
do.
yep.
And they've got the
So
backing of the fans. I mean,
Yeah.
Cross
yeah,
right now is outselling John Cena in
Yeah, and
merch.
t-shirts.
Yes.
Yeah, he
Like,
is.
that is pretty wild to say.
like they had to start selling his shirts in the arenas at Raw
Yeah,
now because it was
yeah.
so
Oh,
dependent.
it was. Yeah, you can only get on shop, and it's like, man,
It's
it's
unfortunate.
yeah. That's definitely my pick. If he gets into the Money in the Bank qualifying match and he wins it, that's definitely my pick. Like I want him to win the whole damn thing.
Well, dang, that ruins my next question. Who's y'all's vote for Money in the Bank?
I mean, go ask him.
Man, I know they're still in the
So
process of qualifiers, but I mean, make up what you will in your head.
I
Sure.
get a lot of hate for liking this individual as much as I do.
Uh-oh.
But I think the hate for this man is so unwarranted.
Okay.
I gotta go Solo Sikoa. I think
Okay. Oh my gosh.
I think Solo is gonna win Money in the Bank. I think he deserves it. And I think that he's overhated. Like I don't understand why people hate on Solo as much as they hate on him. That man stepped up so much in 2024. He was the biggest
That's
heel
true.
in the
That's very
company
true. I have
for the
to.
entire year.
Yeah.
He did make a
And
good
and
Yeah.
bloodline.
and he was like his promos were great. He completely changed his aura. Like I started coining the name on TikTok, Swaggy Solo. Like so, I think Solo deserves his moment. So I'm going Sikoa.
Okay. You got a woman's vote as well?
I think Naomi. I think Naomi
Okay.
should win the
Okay.
women's Money in the Bank. I feel like the Money in the
I like
Bank is
that.
better when heels carry it because it seems like a
Yeah.
heel thing to do
Yeah.
to cash
Yeah.
in on somebody.
Oh yeah.
So, and right now Naomi's doing some great work. So I'm gonna go. I would also like to see Chelsea Green because I'm a big Chelsea Green.
Yes.
I am too. Like that would be my pick is Chelsea Green for the women's, but I wouldn't hate it if Naomi won. I would cheer. I would pop.
What about you, Wells?
Let me talk to you.
There you go.
My
All
pick
right.
is LA Knight. Yeah. How fitting in Los Angeles for LA Knight to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. I think now that he has dropped the United States title, now that he is out of that picture, can we skyrocket the megastar where he needs to be? And that's in the main event title picture. So I think putting the briefcase with LA Knight is a match made in heaven. And as far as the women go, I agree with Peyton. I think Naomi deserves to win the women's Money in the Bank, and I can already see the briefcase. She's going to put that yellow caution tape
Yes.
all
Yeah,
over that
yeah.
briefcase. So, and I mean, yeah, WWE, I know you watch and listen. So you can go ahead and give me the royalties for when you do come out with that Money in the Bank briefcase, because we all know that when Naomi wins, that'll be hitting shop.com, and you heard it here first from WellsMania.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, we got
Gotta
soundboards
hit
in
him
here.
with that.
You got a
Yeah,
soundboard over
yeah,
there?
yep, yeah.
We
I'm
got
sorry.
we got the good sounds here.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. All right. There you go.
Nice.
All right,
Well
so
played.
let me ask you a question. Who do you think was the worst person to hold the Money in the Bank briefcase?
Austin Theory.
Mm,
How
ooh,
dare you? How dare you?
ooh,
How can it
ooh.
not be him? He's
Hey,
the
just be
only person in history
I
to
mean,
be stupid enough to try to cash in on a mid-card title and then lost in the process.
Cena did this, and Cena almost did the same. Well, he did lose it, but he was the first guy to lose it.
At least he was trying to go for a world championship.
Can I say that I
True.
have somebody that's worse than Austin Theory?
please do.
Fucking Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tried to cash in during Cena and Jinder Mahal fighting for the WWE Championship and got his ass beat. And that was one of the longest, what felt like forever, Money in the Bank holds. And I was like, get this shit off of him now.
Yeah.
That's a good pick. I think I'm going to co-sign with you on that one.
Okay. Let me flip the question then. Who in Money in the Bank history has won it that you felt like could have been massive but was a total flop?
Oh.
Mine is an easy pick. I think because I think it was the coolest designed briefcase ever, and I don't know why they didn't pull the trigger on it. Has to be Damian Sandow.
Oh my
I
God.
think-
I thought about
okay,
that. I forgot
this-
all
this-
about that.
This one might be a little underrated, but I think Mr. Kennedy would have been good. Whenever he won the briefcase, it was nice, and then he faced, wasn't it Rob Van Dam? I believe. I think it was Rob
He
Van
got his,
Dam.
he got his briefcase stolen from Edge, basically.
Yeah, basically. And I was like, oh man, I think Mr. Kennedy would have been nice, but that's my pick.
I don't have any.
Tell
on the
you
top
what,
of my
cash
head.
in pisses me off the most
What's that?
is when Edge cashed in on John Cena.
The first cash in.
John
my
had just
God.
gone through hell. He had just gone through hell. And then Edge doing Edge things
That's
comes
history,
out,
though. That's
cashes
history.
in and beats John Cena to become the new champion. It pissed me off then, and it pisses me off now, and it's going to
That's
piss me off
awesome.
forever.
Ultimate heel opportunity right there. The ultimate opportunist is definitely a well-given
Yeah.
nickname for him.
I
For
can't.
sure.
I
Crazy.
can't think of what Stone was asking. I can't think of a good answer for it.
I'm telling you, Damian Sandow had the coolest briefcase.
He
ever.
did. I
Yeah,
didn't.
he did.
The
He did.
leather briefcase. I mean, it was
Sandow was really good.
perfect.
Okay, I'm gonna flip my answer to what I think it should have been. I think because it was a successful cash in, but Nikki ASH, whenever she won it and got the women's championship, I think it would have been better if she was Nikki Cross to get it,
Yeah,
because the
yeah.
Nikki ASH character kind of died along with that cash in. No offense.
The Nikki
Peyton,
that
give your
character
thoughts on her
died
character.
Nikki Trash died
There it
the
is.
moment that character was born.
Yeah, pretty much. You can still get that at WWEshop.com.
Peyton was not a fan of her.
Neither
at
was
all.
I.
I wasn't either.
He would call her Nikki Trash on WellsMania podcast at least every time she got brought up. He'd be like, "Oh, you mean Nikki Trash?" And I'm like, I'm not saying it. It's not me. That's you saying
I
it. That's
love I
not
love
me.
Nikki Cross,
I
but
love Nikki
but
Cross.
hey,
Yes.
it was she agreed because she's the one that threw the 24/7 title in
yeah,
the
yeah,
trash
yeah,
when the character died. So
yeah.
That
Good
is
point. It's a
true.
good
she
point.
agreed with me.
If you could see two of your favorite tag teams go at it in a dream match, what would they be?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Thank you.
In their primes,
You can do in their primes. You can do someone dead. If there was a dead tag
I-
team, I can't think of anyone, but
I would have to go in their prime, the Road Warriors versus the Brothers of Destruction.
That's
okay,
a good one.
that is a good one.
Yeah, I mean Legion of Doom, that is my all-time favorite tag team. I love Animal and Hawk. Growing up in the 90s, watching those guys absolutely dominate. Who would I pair them up against though? Like, man, I don't think I've ever been asked this question before. A tag team dream match. So
Hey, the tag team
it could be,
division is severely underrated whenever it comes to
Mhm,
people talking about it.
mhm.
So I had to throw it
yeah.
there.
Yeah, man. Legion of Doom versus I'm gonna go Enzo and Cass. I'm a
Hey,
big
all right, all right.
I'm a big Enzo
I
and
am too, man.
Cass fan.
I am
So
They
too.
were good.
I
They
know
were
it's
really good.
a wild dream match right there. Legion
I
of Doom versus Enzo and Big Cass.
I
that
mean,
might
it's a
be the
banger.
wildest squash match ever pitched.
Oh man.
Oh my god. What about you,
That
Hey,
was off the
John?
top
I
of my
love
Hoosier
Enzo
dome
and
right
Cass,
there.
man.
What
I
about
just
you?
love
like giving
Enzo
them their
and Cass.
flowers whenever I can.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
They were
especially
okay. If they kept on going without the whole breakup situation, because it was all based on a whole argument backstage, they would have been phenomenal. They could have actually been champions, but who knows?
yeah, yeah. I don't on that the moment that Vince like chose to break those two up, I was like, what are you doing? What are
Yeah.
you doing? Like that's your the most epic tag team that you have had in a long ass time, like in decades, and then you just broke them up. Especially like I understand like you know you want maybe you want Enzo to like go by himself and then try to like work on his wrestling or something like that. Or I don't know. I don't know what the plan was, but the whole magic of the duo is you have this big guy that takes down on the beating and beats people up, and then you have the talker of Enzo that talks a lot of smack and but can still fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, that tag team was so special, and I really miss them too. Like, and especially Enzo. Enzo was selling out merch more than John Cena at the time, and then it's crazy that he's still like he's out of WWE. It's still crazy to me.
What about you, John? What's your tag team dream match for you?
Uh, man, I'm gonna have to say the Hardys. Oh shoot.
That's already a good first pick. Just gonna say
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Hardys versus DIY. Or,
DIY.
yeah, I think that would be a good one. Um, it's there and Hardy's versus anybody is gonna be good. That's the thing. It's like that was like my one of my favorite tag teams is the Hardy Boys. They're
Yeah.
definitely they're the goat.
If I had to choose a tag team dream match, it's probably already happened, but in their prime, I would love to see the Hardys take on the Usos, because that would be an
Yeah, Hardy's
absolute
versus
banger.
Usos would be cool too.
I feel like back when they came back after the whole WrestleMania 33 thing, they were in a rivalry with the Usos. I'm not 110%, because I think it was majority of the New Day that they were rivaling with, and the Bar. But
Yeah,
I could be wrong. I'll have to do my research, but that'd be
The
a banger.
bar.
the
I like
bar.
that
I
too.
remember the bar. The bar was
Hey,
so good.
we might be
Underrated as
getting a
fuck.
little League of Nations reunion with Sheamus and Rusev.
I saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I did see that. Well, it might. Hopefully.
Well, let's get you guys asked us some questions if you have anything on the top of your head.
Peyton, what do you got? I'm
Let's
still racking my brain over the tag team dream match. I want to come up with I want to come up with something better than LOD versus Enzo and Cass.
yeah, please do. Well, what are your guys' opinions on this is a big topic, the WrestleMania news that broke today.
Oh, I did make a video about that.
I'll go first.
Go for it.
So I love the idea because me personally, I think it's a great idea because they've been WrestleMania has went to New Orleans so many times. I think it's time to give not just other states but other countries a chance too. And I think that would be a good time. I know now I guess the reports are saying they might go back to Las Vegas. So we'll see what happens. I mean, maybe they want some redemption because everyone's been saying how that was an okay WrestleMania. Wasn't the best WrestleMania though.
I'll give.
Yeah,
I'll
I mean,
give.
from what I'm hearing, it's the deal's pretty much finalized.
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Yeah.
what I've
Yeah.
You know
seen.
who the biggest heel in pro wrestling is right now?
Oh man, there's
The
so
final boss. The final
Oh
boss, The
yeah.
Rock.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
He just screwed out New Orleans. Remember when he came back and he made that big over the top New Orleans WrestleMania is coming
Yes.
back, and
Yeah.
then now
Yep.
it's not. And then
Yeah.
No, it's
he
not.
wasn't there. He wasn't
Yep.
there in Las Vegas at WrestleMania. So it's
Yep.
like, Dwayne, what the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Make up your mind.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be at WrestleMania? Where's WrestleMania going? He doesn't know.
How
No. No.
how is the meme not been made yet? With oh, am I frozen? What happened?
No, you're
No.
good.
No. You're good. You're good.
Okay, on my end it looks frozen now. How has the meme not been made yet with New Orleans as Cody Rhodes and Vegas as John Cena, and then The Rock doing the
Oh
thing?
my god.
You've got to be the one to make that.
You gotta
Peyton.
make it.
You
And
gotta
then,
make
and then
it.
send
You
it to
gotta
me
make
so I can
it.
post it on my channel. Anyways.
You know, it's funny with the reports of WWE going back to Vegas or never leaving Vegas, because you know what they say: what happens in Vegas
Stays in Vegas.
Stays in Vegas. Yeah.
And WWE's taken that a little too literally.
I don't know. I don't want to see it go back to Las Vegas. I like the whole transitioning back and forth to other states. I know this is underrated, and I feel like John will agree with me only for sheer fact that we're close enough to it. But if they did a WrestleMania in Kansas City, that would be so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I know it's
Yeah, if they
never gonna happen because of how
No,
small
but
it is. But
if they did a WrestleMania at the Arrowhead Stadium, because I know they can do it, that it would go out like it would be sold out in minutes. I know, but yeah, I don't think they would. I said the same thing for St. Louis Cardinals too. If they could do it at the Cardinal Stadium, but again, there's so much like a WrestleMania in Missouri or WrestleMania in Chicago like that. I think it would be really dope, and I know it would definitely sell out fast.
You want to know where I want it to come back, and I've been waiting since 1992? I think that poster pretty much sums it up. Indianapolis.
Yeah,
I
plus,
mean,
yeah,
yep.
we and I know I'm biased because Peyton and I, that's our home city, but we proved at the Royal Rumble in Lucas Oil Stadium that we are beyond capable of
Mm-hmm.
hosting a major
Mm-hmm.
PLE.
Because yeah,
And
that place was loud.
very
yes,
loud. Indianapolis is the most underrated wrestling city in the world,
Yeah.
and I feel like, when WrestleMania does come back, because we are due a WrestleMania, just don't know which one yet it's going to be. So of course, when I heard this news earlier that New Orleans is no longer going to be hosting WrestleMania 42, of course, I went on TikTok and Twitter and all my
Yep.
WellsMania social media. And I'm like,
yep.
okay, Indiana Sports Corp, now it's time. WrestleMania 42, let's go 2026. Because I looked at the schedule, and the men's Final Four is in Indianapolis next year, April 4th and April 6th. So you could have WrestleMania the following weekend, and you
Oh
talk
wow.
about
He
billions
disagrees.
and billions of dollars
And he
coming.
lives in
I mean,
Indianapolis, and he's saying no.
that will fix the pothole situation that we have on our streets. I
I
mean, my
think
goodness, let's go.
WWE fixes potholes.
Yeah.
I
Hell
think
yeah.
on paper that sounds really cool. If that were to actually happen, I think it would be a total disaster. That's what I think.
Why do you say that? Why do you got to be the buzzkill, man? That's our city.
Because just the amount of money that would need to be spent in transition in a week,
Mm-hmm.
and hotels having to get ready and restaurants and bars. I don't think the city would be able to handle that many tourists and transitioning things that quickly within a week. And I think it sounds cool, but I don't think it would work out. And also, you got to understand, like, Indiana Sports Corp signed a 7-year deal with the WWE. So they have to get a Rumble, a SummerSlam, and a WrestleMania to fill out 7 years. Well, if we blow that load 2 years in, and the Indiana Sports Corp is like, well, then why did we sign a 7-year deal with you? What else are we getting?
Stone's gonna go
So
to a restaurant during fucking WrestleMania in Indianapolis and be like, "Why is there such a big line?"
it's, I mean,
I do get where you're coming from. Yes, there is a 7-year deal that is already in effect. I believe it started this year with the Royal Rumble. So I've
Yeah.
just I've just been waiting way too long, guys. I was 5 years old when I was at WrestleMania 8.
Oh
Uh,
man.
I turned 39 this year, so that
Whoop, whoop.
means that I'm going to be in my 40s when WrestleMania does come back to Indianapolis, and I'll probably have kids by then. So you know what? Actually, this might be a good idea because then I could take my kids to
Yep.
WrestleMania.
That's a
All right,
Got
amazing.
him start him. Got to
I
start him.
I
Yep.
found the positive. I found the positive, and I'm running wild with that.
Where's your positive, Stone? No.
uh,
Man,
WrestleMania 48. That'll be the end of the 7-year deal,
Okay,
and
I can see that.
that would be an anniversary all the way
40-year
back to
anniversary.
it'd be 40-year anniversary. So
Wow.
I think in the middle of the 7-year deal, 2027, we will be getting our SummerSlam, and at the end of that 7 years, it will be WrestleMania, and it'll be the 40-year anniversary of that event being in Indianapolis.
So let's see. Let me do some math here. Bear with me. That this might hurt my
Is this
brain.
some Steiner math? Because I ain't
This
interested in
Steiner
that.
math. Yeah.
So that's 2032 is when you're saying that we are going to get WrestleMania back, which means I will be 46 years old.
Hey, you didn't hit your
Wow.
50s though.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But man, just
Yeah.
just thinking about being 46 years old at WrestleMania. Hell, I was telling Peyton this when him and I went to Backlash. Man, I think I was in a food coma. I looked over at Peyton and I was like, dude, man, I think I'm getting too old to come to these live shows. Like I'm starting to doze off a little.
Yeah.
Peyton
No,
looks at me and he goes, it's
It
because
was.
you were in a food coma.
it's because you had 6 meals that day.
Damn.
I
was
think it was
hungry.
just because the event sucked. So
You didn't like Backlash?
no, I didn't like Backlash.
There,
No,
I
Oh
there's
man, I thought it was a great show.
I don't know how to
I didn't.
explain. I mean, you were there live. This is what I tell John,
Yeah.
that when you go there live, it gives you a different experience than when you're watching on the TV, obviously.
It does.
Yeah.
And I feel like when people watch it live, it's fucking fantastic. But we watched it at separate times, but we watched it together. And we were watching it and we were enjoying a little bit of it, but majority of the matches were too fast. There was botches between matches, and there was some that we just didn't care about. The only good
Yeah.
one that I liked was Cena and Orton, because two bangers, the classic. But it was just like too many finishers, and then just ends up John Cena winning anyways over a freaking belt smash.
Cena took 5 RKOs, like 5 RKOs,
Yeah,
and
but he's
then
Super Cena.
yeah,
Super heel Cena.
Super heel Cena.
Super heel Cena.
If this would
Yeah,
have been a match in 2010, I don't think anybody'd be complaining.
It's 2025 and I'm complaining.
I get where you're coming from, though. It is a whole different ball game when you're there live. And Peyton and I can vouch for the crowd there. They were loud, man. That was one of the
Yeah.
loudest crowds that I have ever been a part of. And I've been to a lot of wrestling shows. I think that St. Louis crowd might have
telling you.
been the loudest and
loudest.
rowdiest crowd that I've ever been
Yep.
a part of, which made the experience that much
See,
better. And then, of course, me
I'm-
being a Cena guy,
Yeah.
witnessing John retain against Randy.
I'm
also
from
made it better.
Missouri. I'm from Missouri, and
We
this
both
is, like
are,
I said,
but-
it's something that we've been wanting for a long time, and it's still unbelievable that St. Louis still has not had one, and or not just St. Louis, like even Kansas City, like still has not had one, a WrestleMania. It's like we've gotten the okay pay-per-views, you know, and we've gotten Backlash. We've gotten a Royal Rumble. We've gotten multiple Monday Night Raws, but no, it's not. We want a WrestleMania, and that's the thing. It's like we've proved ourselves time and time again that we deserve it. We're very loud, and especially whenever it comes to Kansas City. Like I said, it's Kansas City's Chiefs in the NFL is rated the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's I was like that's what I'm saying. It's like we've proved time and time again that we are very loud and we deserve it. Like I don't see how that we have not got it yet. It's crazy.
I will say what you do have in Missouri are the best ribs in America at the
Yeah.
smokehouse.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, dude,
So
Peyton and I
good.
ate there, and yeah, I love barbecue.
I do
And
too.
I've heard that Kansas City also is well known for barbecue. So
Yep.
just for the food reasons alone, I'm cool with WrestleMania going to Kansas City so I can eat all that barbecue,
Just
brother.
don't get yourself into a
You
food
begin the
coma
ribs
again.
while watching Mania, like good shit.
Good
Yeah,
shit. This is good shit.
I'm learning. I am learning. The older I get, certain foods I can't eat, or else I will fall into a food coma,
Oh,
and I might
yeah.
not come out of it.
Damn. Well, I do have one more question. Then, if anybody else has anything, knock yourself out. We asked this in the last podcast with Sports Beard, but if you guys can have dinner with 3 people, who would it be?
Well, Kyle, I think we already know your answer, so go ahead.
John Cena, John Cena, John Cena.
Well,
John Cena,
I
John
mean,
Cena, John Cena.
I'm not necessarily allowed to tell this story anymore under the stipulation of receiving the Royal Rumble Indianapolis replica spinner title. But I've already had my experience, my little intimate one-on-one with John Cena back in 2012 at Kilroy's, which is a bar in downtown Indianapolis. What happened in there, I've told that story probably a million times, and I have since been told to no longer tell it as receiving that title. So I'll tell you guys off the air.
That's how
Okay.
annoying it got.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go for it.
they got tired of it because I just threw it in everybody's face because to me
Oh, okay.
it
I
is
see.
it's arguably one of the greatest nights of my life with John Cena.
Wow.
I mean,
I bet. I mean, that's like your childhood hero, man. Like,
yeah, and he was super cool too, man, and he was very personable, and he just cared, man. He like
yeah,
made me feel like we had known each other for a very long time, and I just couldn't believe how real he was.
yeah,
Does
yeah,
that make sense?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so outside of John Cena, sitting at a table with The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Triple H would be one hell of a dinner.
Wow.
Just shooting
Yeah.
shit with those 3 guys. Uh, just all the Terramana tequila that we can drink, all the beer that Stone Cold would be throwing our way, and then
You're
of
just
course
sitting there blowing your mind, man.
we have water. We have water to chase it down with Triple H. But man, I think that'd be one hell of a dinner eating
Oh,
with
yeah,
those
it would
3
It
be.
guys.
sounds like a great time.
So I'm gonna steal 2 of his picks. Stone Cold and The Rock, I feel like would be incredible. That's gonna be its own separate dinner, and then I'm gonna have another dinner where I get to personally take out Rhea Ripley. I
Oh,
think
that's
that
nice. I like
Shooting
that.
that
his
would
shot, brother.
Shooting his
that would have
shot.
that would have to be my other one.
That's a good one.
That's awesome.
What about
That
you,
is funny.
John? I don't think you've ever answered this kind of question.
Me? All
Yeah.
right. Well, man, I have my 3 are no longer here, but I have Eddie Guerrero, and then Bray Wyatt because he's my all-time favorite. Like I have him on the wall right there. He's my all-time favorite wrestler. I loved his character work and everything he did. Like everything he did just turned to gold. And I would love to want to see the creative process of what he believed should the Fiend the Fiend should have happened instead of how the Fiend like Vince wanted the like because we saw what Vince wanted versus which I know that for a fact that there was a lot of other things that that Bray definitely wanted but didn't get. So I would love to pick his brain on that. And again, that's the same for the same for the Wyatt family characters. I would love just to sit there and just pick his brain. Um, Eddie Guerrero, I true like I grew up on, and that's another close one to me. Is I love the attitude or not the attitude, the ruthless aggression era. I love that era. That was some phenomenal era for me. I grew up on that era, and so seeing John Cena doing the basic thugonomic gimmick, loved it. It was phenomenal, like massive. It was so cool. But
Word
then
life.
also word life, absolutely. But then seeing Eddie Guerrero like when with Chavo, it was so that one was so nice. And then they split away from Chavo and started just pushing Eddie, and I'm like, man, this is so cool. Because I always enjoyed Eddie's promos. I always enjoyed his wrestling. I had no complaint about Eddie Guerrero. I thought he was absolutely phenomenal. So I would love to pick his brain as well. Um, and then my third one would be Undertaker. I would love to try to sit down because I really think after like seeing his podcast, I think he's a real genuine, nice, sweet guy, and I would love to like pick his brain and just talk about hunting or talking about fishing or in anything. Just like I would just love to talk to him about anything, and he really seems like a real laid back, chill, down to earth Texan guy. So I would love to sit back and have a conversation with him.
I
So
like
those
that.
would be my three.
I like it. Honestly, these are gonna be the most randomest three that you'll probably ever think of. If I had to sit down with three people, it would have to be AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy,
Yeah,
and Bray Wyatt.
yeah.
Same thing with the reason of Bray Wyatt with John is, man, he was had probably one of the best characters ever made in the Fiend.
Mm-hmm.
He does great in his stories, and I would just love to sit down and talk to him about where everything came from, like what goes on in his head to make all this stuff
Yeah.
possible. Jeff Hardy, he was probably one of the first wrestlers I've ever seen. I saw that big triple threat TLC match. Everybody's probably already seen it by now. And Jeff Hardy, like Matt Hardy's cool, don't get me wrong, but Jeff Hardy was kind of the main figure in the Hardy
Yeah.
Boys.
Yeah.
And just to sit down and talk to him about like the things he's been going through, like what he puts his body through, and just having conversations with him would be awesome. And then AJ Styles, man, when I was crazy into TNA, I took a break from the WWE side and just watched TNA for years. AJ Styles was my to go to, and then obviously Jeff Hardy went over there. But it'd be nice to just sit down with him as well and just watching his career from TNA, WWE, New Japan. I just want to. Oh, there's just so much that you can get out of somebody and all their years of experience, and I don't know. Just give me some Don Julio and just let me talk to those three.
Have you ever met? Did you ever get to meet Bray Wyatt?
Unfortunately,
No,
no.
fortunately not. But I've seen everything like how he treats fans and and like he takes the time. Not only the clip I really loved was whenever he was talking to the fans and then he went behind the gate, took the gate down, went behind them, and actually just had a one-on-one face-to-face conversation with them. That's what the genuine person that I really love to see. And that's what I'm saying. Is like I would love to just like sit and pick his brain and just like, man, so nice.
This is where Stone
I
comes in and says, "I met Bray Wyatt."
Oh
I
yeah.
did meet him. I
Yeah.
did. I met him. It was a cool, intimate kind of meeting. I met him when he was walking to the gym in New Orleans at WrestleMania 30,
Oh wow.
and he had snuck out the back of his hotel, and I had just happened to be walking by at that time, and walked right into him. And he was trying to hide, but I mean, I saw the beard and everything. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
I know it's so. I was like, can I get a picture? And he was like, yeah, man, no problem. And he was very, very cool. And this was,
Yeah.
I mean, if you remember WrestleMania 30, this is
Mm-hmm.
at like the height
Mm-hmm.
of
Bray White family. Yeah.
of the Wyatt family. Like everybody
Yeah.
at this time thought like he's gonna be the next big thing. He
Yeah.
is the next Undertaker.
He is.
You know? And then of course Wells's boy got the golden shovel
Mm-hmm.
out and had to bury him.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. That's true.
you have
I
no
mean,
response to that, Kyle?
I mean,
I do have a response to that. And this is a question that I'll ask all three of you. What do you make of John Cena still being stuck in the Firefly Funhouse rumors that are going around?
what?
I didn't actually know about
Yeah.
those rumors.
See, I
I didn't
haven't seen
know.
this. You're
I
gonna
haven't
have to
seen it
explain this
either.
one.
So I just saw this a couple days ago, and I thought, man, that is really creative and clever. So apparently, people think that the real John Cena is still stuck inside the Firefly Funhouse. And people are saying that the only way that he can get out of it is the Wyatt Six. So to pay homage to Bray Wyatt and the Firefly Funhouse, because to me during the pandemic era, it wasn't a total loss because we got cinema like that. And
Yes. Yes.
John and Bray, that is one of my favorite WrestleMania matches
Mine too.
between John and Bray because those two guys were telling stories and getting it, me being the John Cena fan that I am, getting to see John go through all of his evolutions and then being in the NWO. I
Yeah.
mean, it was just so cool. I'm like, I can't believe we're seeing this right now.
It was
So
absolutely cinema. It really was.
yeah. And so when I saw someone say, the reason why John is acting the way that he is, of course, everybody thinks that he sold his soul to The Rock, but no, there's a deeper meaning to it.
Yeah.
He's still stuck inside the Firefly Funhouse, and the only way to get out is if the Wyatt Six come and I don't know if they'll rescue him, save him, beat the hell out of him to get him back to reality. I don't know, but what do you guys think of this crazy conspiracy theory that John Cena is still stuck inside the Firefly Funhouse?
I think
The real John Cena.
I think it would be really nice if he sells it, like have him like get beat up by the White Six enough, and then finally Cena has tears in his eyes, and he needs to actually cry, and then finally he just realizes of everything of what he done, and then he just says I'm sorry. I think, and it would be a wonderful like face turn. I think if it's sold correctly and done well, I think they could do it.
I
It'd
find
be the
that crazy.
craziest story ever told if
Then
they did
That
that.
definitely,
is.
definitely.
And
I
they
don't
could
know.
bring that cinema back of, reshooting some of those scenes where John
Yeah,
is literally still in the Firefly Funhouse. And
yeah,
then the door opens and he walks out and it transitions into John coming back to reality and being the loved John Cena that he is. Because I told Peyton this, he did not break up with us. He's in his own mind. He's in
Oh,
his
he
own
broke up with
way.
you. You're in denial.
No,
He's
John Cena is in denial because it's not the real John Cena and the last real champion. I mean, there's a lot of like little cryptic things that I might be reading a little too much into. But this is what we do on the WellsMania podcast, man. We fantasy book and we run wild with it. We
It's
have
the
fun with it.
lore. It's the lore that
That's
catches people's
awesome.
attention.
Absolutely.
All right. Any
I
other?
think he just broke up with you.
He broke up with all of us.
That's
No,
awesome.
I'll never accept that breakup.
Well, our truth couldn't either, and that didn't end well.
But now we
Man,
got
I
now we
tell
got a
you,
Saturday Night Main Event.
yeah, I pray for our truth. He is walking into a world of hurt. John is going to beat the hell out of our truth
I
Saturday
think
night.
so. I think so too. But the title's not on the line, so therefore, I think there's a chance that Truth can easily get it and win. But then it's gonna piss Cena off. So he's probably like if he wins by roll up or something, and then it's gonna piss him off, and then he continues to beat up our Truth, and then I don't know, maybe we see Cody come back, and that's Cody for the save. I don't know, that something like that can probably happen, but having them not put the title on the line really makes me curious of like maybe there's a chance that R-Truth might win.
Good
All they
luck.
need to do is have Cody. All they need is Cody to come out and
Yeah.
lost.
Yep.
Big
Yep.
old crossroads to Cena, give R-Truth a little pin there. All right, I got one more question, then we'll end it there. But for the people that are trying to get into wrestling, what match would you recommend they watch?
Ooh,
The
that's a
Rock
real-
versus
that's a
The
really good
Rock
question,
versus
too.
Hulk Hogan. The Rock and Hulk Hogan WrestleMania 18 is the match I would have people watch, because that match is such a simple match and it's so easy to follow. And to this day, I will say that is the greatest crowd reaction to a match of all time. So if you want someone to watch something and get goosebumps and be like, this is cool, like these people are into this, and like I'm feeling the buzz of it, just watch that match. You don't need to be a massive wrestling fan to sit there, because it's an easy match to follow. It's a very simple story, and that crowd will get anybody hyped, regardless of if you're a wrestling fan or not.
Hell yeah.
It's a great choice. It's a great choice. I got to go with once in a lifetime. John Cena versus The Rock. Once again, being there live in person to witness that. I was actually there with people who weren't wrestling fans. They were partners and girlfriends to the guys that I was there with, and I asked them legitimately, what'd you think of that match? And they were like, we were so entertained by it the whole time, and the storytelling got us, and the Rock's sexy, and I'm just like, okay, what'd you think of the
But the
match?
match.
They enjoyed it because they didn't know who was going to win, because both of those guys, and hell, I didn't. I thought John was going to win. So
Yeah.
to my surprise, when he didn't, and then you got these two non-wrestling fans watching it. Um, so I got to witness it firsthand, what it was like for two non-wrestling fans to watch that match, because to me, that is my all-time favorite match, and I will go back and rewatch it over and over and over again, and I get pissed off at John Cena every single time. And I'm like, what are you doing? Stop imitating The Rock. This is not going to end well for you. And it didn't. Um, but yeah, that would be my choice for a match that I would recommend somebody just getting in, because everybody knows those two guys, even outside of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So you got, the actors, John Cena and
Mm-hmm.
The Rock, they're
Mm-hmm.
they're wrestlers. They can go in and they can watch it, and they don't have to know really anything outside of wrestling to be entertained by that match, because both
And
of those guys did a phenomenal job.
I think that's the build up for like the whenever they did the first match, the build up for that match it was so well done, well produced. Uh I mean, the way that The Rock went off script and John Cena followed, and he's like, "You want to go off script? I can go off script too. Just like I don't write promos on my wrist." Like
Yeah.
that's insane. Like,
Which
um,
John has gone back and said that he wouldn't have done that.
yeah, yeah.
Nowadays. He would not have done that.
But like for entertainment wise, like it's really like for the fans perspective that hasn't, or the non-fan perspective that hasn't watched wrestling but knows who John Cena is and knows who The Rock is. Like they can really understand the build up. So like whenever those promos hit and The Rock or John Cena says that The Rock took off to go to Hollywood and I've been holding it down here for decades while you've been dressing up as a tooth fairy. Like, come on, like that's like any non-fan can easily understand that and get that and be like, all right, we're
All
cooking,
right,
we got
he's
that.
cooking now. He's cooking.
All right, he's cooking.
And of
So
course, the Rock calling John Cena a bowl of fruity pebbles.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
great line. I get it.
So to follow up on that, and we can end with this one. I'm curious, and actually, me and Wells were talking about this on the latest podcast. How many WrestleManias have you attended, and what were they? One?
WrestleMania 27.
Zero.
Oh, Johnny, you got to go, bro.
You
Yeah.
gotta go.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
on the
I've only
non-WrestleMania list. Get him out of here.
I went to a house show in Springfield, Missouri. That was an absolute banger because that was like I never seen them do a house show at all. I just seen them do what they do on TV and everything. It's 10 times better because they what they call the super show, and it really is a super show. Like they really do have like they had all the titles on the line, and none of the matches were announced. We got to just see like the matches go on, and then I will say that that was the last time I did get to witness the last time that Jay Uso and Cody Rhodes were a tag team. So they had the titles on the line that night on a Sunday, and they were doing they had defended it at the house show. They retained literally the following night at Monday Night Raw. They lost the titles. So I was like,
Yep.
oh wow, that's crazy. So we got to witness that. Then it was the Royal Rumble in 2022, and then the Monday Night Raw for in Kansas City, the one that just happened. I went there, but so
Okay.
yeah, I have not. It's a dream. It's definitely a dream. I would love to go.
I would
Well,
love to
I
go
am
take
back.
manifesting that you are gonna go to a WrestleMania
Hell
one
yeah,
day.
bring it to me. I want all the positive.
Hold
Hell
up.
yeah,
take it
give me
from
the
me.
aura. Yeah,
Once you
for
go
real.
to once you go to one, it's addicting. I'm lucky enough to
Oh
say
really?
I've been to 6 of them.
Oh
Damn.
my gosh! Wow.
So once you go to one, and Kyle can attest to this, you get that buzz, and you're like,
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
back.
I wish
The
I
crazy
could.
thing is there's no time frame on it. Like my first WrestleMania was 1992. My second WrestleMania was 2007. It's a massive gap of time where
Wow.
I did not go to a WrestleMania. So let that be motivation to you is you just never know when you are going to go, but you will end up going one day. I believe that. I'm right
Hell
behind
yeah, dude.
Peyton. I've
Hell
been to
yeah.
5 WrestleManias, and I'm hoping to add more to that as the years go on. And we were talking about this on WellsMania podcast earlier this week. It's just so crazy. You would think that I would have been to more WrestleManias, but no, I've only been to 5. So that's how
Wow.
special a WrestleMania is when you go to them, you become part of the show.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
for sure. That's
like
how
you're
I felt.
forever entwined with that
Yeah,
show that you
that's how
attend.
I felt with Monday Night Raw. That was my first Monday Night Raw I attended at Kansas City. I was like, that was special. I like that because you're part of the story. I love that. Like
Yeah.
that's what makes it cool.
I love it because
They never forget
I've
them.
been to I unfortunately I've never been able to go to a SmackDown, which I would love for them to do in Kansas at some point. But I've been to 3 Raws, Royal Rumble 22, WrestleMania 27, and unfortunately I've been to an AEW Collision. But
We won't hold that against you.
and technically a Ring of Honor, hypothetically speaking. But
Yeah, because
Nice.
they do the show before.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean the Ring
How
of
did it
Honor
feel
was better
being
than the
the only one
Collision.
in the crowd?
Yeah, it sucked. It was still on the time when AEW was still like on its course of coolness, I guess. I
Where
don't
they
know
were doing
anything.
okay, not the
Yeah.
greatest, but they were doing okay.
They had some banger matches there. I remember one of them that I really liked was Swerve Strickland and AR Fox, because I feel like AR Fox is a really underrated wrestler. And then you have
Yeah,
Swerve
for sure.
Strickland and his skills going up against him. Very banger
It's
match.
me and Kyle. We actually mapped out all our shows. I've been to so many Raw and Smackdowns, I've lost track of those.
Same.
But
Show
Same.
off. No.
Oh man.
I have been to 17 PLEs.
Damn.
Oh my
So,
gosh. Wow.
yeah, yeah. And Kyle, you weren't far behind me, didn't you? You were like at 13.
Yeah, and I might be forgetting some, but the number I came up with was 13, and which is still really low. Like I feel like that number should be way higher than 13, but life happens.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes unfortunately we aren't able to go to the shows that we want to go to. Peyton
Yeah.
he always rubs this in my face. I was not there when SummerSlam came to Indianapolis
Oh
in
man.
2008.
Yeah.
I missed out on that show. Um, Peyton didn't, and he will never let me live that down until the day that we die.
Because you can't give an answer for why you missed it. You don't you don't know why you weren't there.
Life happens,
I was
man.
I was in I was
Yeah.
in college. I went to Ball State University. Chirp chirp. Shout out to all my fellow Ball State Cardinals that are watching or listening to the pod here. I was in college, man. I don't really remember a lot when I was in college.
It happens.
It was a
Like
wild, it was a wild, it was a wild time back then.
you
You
said,
missed
life
John
happens.
Cena. I mean, it's probably a good thing because that was the night John Cena broke his neck. So it's probably a good thing you missed.
Oh,
Oh
I forgot all
yeah, I
about
remember that.
that.
I
That
remember
is the
that.
reason. That's the reason why I didn't go. Because there was a reason why I wasn't supposed to be there, and I wasn't supposed to be there to witness that. So there's the answer I'm running with for the rest of our lives.
I will
That's so
accept
funny.
that. You got any questions for them, Joan?
No, I'm good. So I guess we can just end it with where can people find you guys?
I'll go ahead.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having us on. This was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
I love coming on other wrestling podcasts. So this is awesome to be on the other side
Yeah.
of the mic, so to speak.
We would love to be the vice versa. You see, you guys got a
Yes.
podcast. We would love to be a guest.
Yes, absolutely. When Peyton comes back, because Peyton will be out next week.
Yeah.
He'll be in Florida.
Florida.
Lucky SOB.
I gotta add
Battleground.
on to my PLE list. I gotta add.
Yes.
Oh,
But
man.
when Peyton comes back, you guys are more than welcome to come on. The door is always open. The invite's always there. So we'll make it happen for sure. But yeah,
sure.
man, you can follow me at WellsMania literally on everything: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter X, TikTok, and you can subscribe to the WellsMania podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. So thank you to everybody who takes the time out of their busy lives to run wild with Peyton and I. It truly means everything that people care enough to listen to what him and I have to say in this wild, wild world of professional wrestling and sports entertainment.
You can follow me on TikTok at StonePayneProductions. I go live almost daily at this point. That seems to be the backbone of what I do now. And then if you want the more unhinged version of me, you can go on X and follow me at StonePayneProd.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Well, I appreciate y'all being on here. This was probably like one of my most like I know we just started doing this whole interview process, but like you two were probably like the most excited that I
Yeah.
wanted to have on in
Yeah,
such a hot minute.
this was really cool. This was definitely really cool.
But
Anytime, guys.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you again for having us. And Peyton and I,
course.
we love shooting the shit and talking wrestling with other wrestling
yeah.
fans.
Hell
It's a
yeah.
lot of fun, man. So thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Awesome.
All right, that's gonna wrap it up here. But make sure you guys go like, subscribe to their channels, and we'll see you next time. I should